For living large, there's nothing quite like a luxury sedan. Either behind the wheel or coddled in the back seat, there's a sense that you've arrived, even before the destination has been reached. The all-new 7th generation BMW 7 Series, which just has to be good luck, is such a machine. And it is large, around 5 inches longer from stem to stern, 2 inches higher and wider than the outgoing model, even though the wheelbase grows only slightly. If tech is the new luxury, this is Versailles on 21-inch wheels. If you like the idea of the 7 Series, pricing starts at around $97,000. That's for the 740i, which is powered by a turbocharged inline 6-cylinder and rear-wheel drive. 3000 adds xDrive all-wheel drive. Now, I'm driving the more powerful 760i xDrive as standard. It begins its price spiral at $122,000. With all of the things added that BMW wants me to show you, it's just under $150,000. If you're cross-shopping, you'll be looking at Audi A8, Genesis G90, Lexus LS, Mercedes S-Class, and Lucid Air, because remember, the 7 Series is now available as a pure EV. The gas and electric version pretty much look identical, other than some slight grille and wheel differences. This one has a unique look up front, courtesy of the M Sport Package Pro, and the EV doesn't have these, of course. The main options on this vehicle include a $5,400 individual competition interior with Alcantara headliner, $10,000 worth of backseat upgrades that I'll show you later, nearly $5,000 for Bowers & Wilkins sound, $900 for automated parking, and $1,300 for these aerodynamic wheels. And then there's the $3,700 executive package. After a long day of keyboard jockeying, weary executives will appreciate this: powered doors, and once you sit inside, you don't even have to push the button. It's all automatic. And if you're worried that it's gonna door ding the Bentley parked next to you, no, there are sensors. There's an emergency door release. You'll have to tell passengers there's no flight attendant, maybe a chauffeur though. The outgoing 760's engine was a 12-cylinder. That's a thing of the past. Now, motivation comes from a 4.4-liter twin turbocharged V8, still a rare breed in these days of emissions reduction. This is what 536 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque sound like on fire-up. Kind of a gentle chuff, because 760i gets a 48-volt mild hybrid system. The electric motor is integrated into the 8-speed gearbox. It makes 18 horsepower and 148 pound-feet of torque. Not a typo. Oh, and notice that the exhaust finishers are cosmetic. Punch up the sport mode, and not only is there a cool light show from the crystal trim surrounding the cabin, it also alters the exhaust note to something more V8 proper. And there's a boost mode for 10 seconds of extra oomph for drag racing your neighbor's rolls. Not just all-wheel drive, there's four-wheel steering too. An individual setting allows drivers to tailor the adaptive dampers and air suspension, both of which are standard, getting an idea of how very deep this car is. If you're a wealthy person in a hurry, the 760 might be your car. It's pretty darn quick. 0 to 60 in about 4 seconds. From what I understand, that velocity is about the same as the all-electric i7. So if you want quietness, go with the EV. If you want engine sound, go with this one. Certainly, that note is never intrusive. Honest, understated authority. Wish politicians had more of that. The electric motor assists the gearbox, so shifts are almost undetectable. In fact, I didn't even notice them until I really concentrated. This thing is super smooth. The mild hybrid system has another advantage. It produces an unusually smooth and transparent automatic engine stop-start dynamic. Shutdown might not be noticed, same with startup. I only experienced one slight stumble the week that I had this. The 7 Series is a large premium vehicle, and yeah, it's a BMW, but if you're expecting M3 type handling, you're going to be disappointed. This is on mission. It's quiet, it's supremely comfortable, and it does have a little bit more of an edge than, say, a Mercedes S-Class or a Lexus LS. It is a BMW. This car is equipped with a $3,600 Autobahn package. It adds a 48-volt active anti-roll system to shut down body movements. Those adaptive shocks can firm up as speed rises. And while this is hushed, the cabin isn't a deprivation chamber. The turbo V8 can be appreciated without spoiling the luxury mood. Keep in mind, this has the $1,300 laminated glass option, which I recommend. Make no mistake, the 7 Series is a very large sedan, and from behind the wheel, it feels like a big one, but it's also kind of nimble. Let's do a U-turn here. Wow, super easy. Feels like I'm driving a Honda Civic. BMW calls its semi-autonomous driving tech Active Driving Assistant Pro. This gives the 7 Series excellent traffic jam assist at low speeds during rush hour. If the highway is fairly straight and clear at speeds under 80 miles an hour, it travels quite a ways before asking for hands on the wheel. Automatic lane changing is just a tap of the turn signal away. This is a twin turbocharged V8, so you wouldn't really expect much when it comes to fuel economy, but the EPA average is 21 mpg. Considering the powertrain, that's not bad. Environmentalists won't like it. I'm hoping to drive the i7, the EV version. Electrification is perfect for luxury transportation. Any 7 Series is a lovely place to spend time. It smells like money in here, something I have a difficult time showing you. If it looks like metal, leather, carbon fiber, or crystal, it is. Notice anything missing? There are no gaping vents. Airflow comes from discrete slits. Flow is directed here. Select any of the drive modes, and the crystal trim does its very best to entertain everyone in the car. I'm just going to let the music play while it cycles through some of the animations, including some of the ambient mood settings. Considering Chao Fei is a Chinese digital artist shown at MoMA, it just might make the 7 Series an appreciating asset to be sold at Sotheby's. Moving on, as you'd expect from Luxo Transportation, the seats get heat, venting, and massage. Not as aggressive as Brookstone chairs, but it's close. The wheel is toasty too. You won't find lamb's wool carpet at Pep Boys. In this case, piano black means the lacquered stuff off a Bosendorfer. Reaching in to grab sunglasses feels good. All of the storage areas are finished and lined. Cup holders won't hold a big gulp, though really that much soda isn't good for you. Technology and luxury seem to be one and the same in 2023. The latest and greatest iDrive interface is displayed on this thin LCD, and it can be operated by hand gestures that I find kind of gimmicky. And this knob is great if your arms are short or you hate fingerprints on the screen. It's very responsive and clear. Any reflections are due to my camera angle. There are hard buttons, but not many. iDrive is pretty intuitive, but there is a lot going on here. There is somewhat of a learning curve, which is why I like natural voice commands. BMWs are very, very good. It allows you to keep your eyes on the road and do things. For example, hey BMW, close all the sunshades.
Okay, I'm closing all sun blinds.
Pretty cool, huh? You'd have to fish around for all those buttons to do that. Of course, this all relies on a data plan. There's a convenient keypad, wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are energy vampires, so even if you lose charge cords, you won't arrive with a dead phone. The Bowers & Wilkins surround sound system with 36 speakers and 1,965 watts is impressive, but it should be considering the $4,800 upcharge. This 7 Series backseat is very impressive. It has more features than some cars have in total. Let's start with the basics. You've got your phone charge pad, cup holders, and plenty of storage, including USB-C ports. I like these accessory slots. You can put a jacket holder here or an iPad mount, including power. Let's get this out of the way. Space for 3 adults is not an issue back here. Plenty of head, knee, and leg room. And these pillows, they're super soft. Wish you could feel them. I want them for my bed. The drive shaft tunnel is pretty large. It does bisect the space. The outboard positions are heated, vented, and have a very nice massage feature. There are all sorts of things to control back here, and it's all done with these door-mounted touchscreens, including dual-zone climate control and sunshades. There are a whole bunch of those. Keeps the paparazzi away. Finally, I'm hopping out to show you the last features. Talk about luxury. I could get used to this. Yes, other luxury sedans have this feature. This one seems to be especially nice. Oh, and the screen. This screen is very, very impressive. It's huge. Depending on where people are sitting, you can position the content in the middle, to the left, to the right. Unfortunately, I don't have an eSIM card installed, so I can't put anything up on the screen. But you know what? I don't need a video. I'm relaxed just the way I am. BMW has brought some, let's say, interesting designs to market in the past few years. The 7 Series keeps the luxury sedan tradition of conservative styling. That's not to say it's boring. It cuts a strong profile that people seem to like. Much of the contouring is subtle, the overall silhouette is strong and planted. And much like a large Rolls-Royce grille, the oversized twin-kidney face works well here, better than in some applications where it looks forced. Again, this is a large, long piece of transportation. The designers had a big canvas to work with. There's an option for two-tone paint, and maybe leave that to Rolls or Maybach. When it comes to cargo, sedans aren't as practical as SUVs. They don't take on big items very well. But let's face it, if you can afford a 7 Series, chances are you're gonna have big things delivered to your house, right? Not many details in here, a couple bag hooks, some finished divots and tie downs, no power ports or anything. Nicely finished, the load floor is fixed, so you won't find a spare tire under here. The seat back doesn't fold either, at least with the executive seating package. But it swallows up a good amount of kit, even if the trunk opening isn't as large as an X7's. This is nearly 18 cubic feet, so the 7 Series takes on 7 packs of softness and absorbency, useful for everyday cargo. Time for the red light, green light wrap-up. Green light. The 760i defines what the luxury sedan should be these days. Powerful, comfortable, full of tech, and the option of an electric powertrain. The driving experience is the perfect balance of luxury and control. Rich, authentic materials and animated ambient lighting will impress the most meticulous interior designer. iDrive can be controlled any way a driver wants. Short of telepathy, BMW is probably working on that. Yellow lights? I like the driving dynamic. There's a sport edge to this that luxury purists might find intrusive. As good as iDrive is, it could be a year before owners take advantage of its feature depth. Going with the trick back seat package means a less useful cargo area, and drivers never get to experience it. Red light. The wide, sweeping rear screen blocks the rearward view of the driver. This is a large motor coach, folks. It can be a chore to drive in dense urban traffic. The fuel economy might be decent for a twin turbocharged V8, but it doesn't score very high with Mother Nature. Two factors will keep this a rare sight on the road. People prefer luxury SUVs with commanding seating positions these days over sedans. And the price. You could easily buy 4 Camrys for what this costs, but hey, you can only drive one at a time. Make it worthwhile. This is an exceptional vehicle. It's quiet, it's comfortable, but athletic, and it's got loads of tech. Really, it comes down to this. There aren't many competitors in this class, and they're all very expensive. So you really should test drive all of them just to make sure you're getting the car that you want. However you live large, understand that the 7th generation 7 Series isn't banking on luck. It's a much improved package. The definition of luxury is different for everyone. For the high income set, this is a fine way to isolate from life's unpleasantries. One tech feature that I didn't show is an interior camera that, when using the BMW phone app, lets you see what's happening inside the car remotely. It's also a selfie camera. I actually used it, but forgot to download the pictures before I gave the car back. To be honest, the photos were kind of dumb looking. Just have the front seat passenger use their phone. It's a lot more convenient. Ladies, gentlemen, let's give it up for Martin Campbell. He drives while I shoot running footage. Hey, Martin, what do you think of the power doors?
Yeah, pretty fancy.
They are very fancy. I've been driving other cars while driving this one, and now I think that the doors open and close automatically on all cars.
Yeah.
I'm spoiled.
Extremely spoiled.
Yeah. That's true. Oh, and if you're into plug-in hybrids, BMW will install that kind of powertrain in the 2024 750i xDrive. Word is the all-electric range is around 36 miles. That depends on driving style and temperature, of course. The power seems promising, 483 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque. Stay tuned. Before I go, I mentioned a lot of competitors, Audi, Mercedes, Lexus, Genesis. Notice anything about those? None of them are American. Yeah, I mean, it used to be that if you wanted a Luxo barge like this, you had to buy a Cadillac or a Lincoln, but those brands don't even make anything like this. Crazy how times change, huh? Well, you're here at the end. I'm assuming that you like this video, so sign up. Subscribe to this channel. And if you have a question, leave it in the comments. I'm also all over social media, Facebook and Twitter, and I'm on Threads now. We'll see how that goes. That's Driven. I'm Tom Volk. Okay.